All right. Hello, Guardians and Gamers, and welcome back. Let's just kick it over to the full camera screen for a couple of minutes. So, I'm going to be going over what Bungie has released to us, letting us know as the community what we got going forward. Because, I mean, months and months now, we've kind of been sitting in the dark going, hey, is this it? Or are you guys going to, completely break the mold and try something new with Destiny? It's kind of really been up in the air, and it's really nice to see that Bungie has put something forward, let alone to say everything that we are seeing is it's subject to change. So whether this is going to be set in solid, or it's just more like a what do you want to call it, like a plan, bit of a plan, a bit of what is the word I'm looking for, probably an outline type thing. But yeah, let's get into it, and we'll see. So first off, it is code name Frontiers, and as we're going to see, a lot of things in here is just like code names for everything. It's Bungie. They're not going to actually release the name for things that just might give too much details away, right? So let's take a look at the first part. Get rid of my camera, and let's see what we got on the go here. So paving the way for new frontiers. So this did come out September 9th. I know I am a little bit late. Hey, what are you going to do? But I'm going to bring it out to you guys and the community and see what you guys think, and make sure that everybody is well informed and know that Destiny is going to be around for many years to come so far. So today marks the 10-year anniversary, which was September 9th. We set out in 2014 to do something new and different for our studio. We've conquered the Witness, looted dungeons, ascended to the lighthouse, and more. And I mean, the more part is a shit ton more. So now we look to the future. We're plotting our course to the stars through Codename Frontiers. We've closed doors with the final shape, so that's the end of the light and the dark saga. Really, how that is going to look going forward is going to be interesting. To me, is it just ending something that's coming after the Traveler, or coming after us for using the dark, or being an instrument of the Traveler? I'm not too sure how that's going to look, or what our powers or abilities are going to be. Who knows? We might just end up with the darkness subclasses, but be like a good part of the darkness side. I'm not too sure. So we've closed doors with the final shape, but we were opening new ones, a weird one, an exciting one that takes Destiny to a place where it has never been before. We're building this future now and are excited to share with you the first glimpse of it today. So let's take a look at the roadmap. This is pretty much the big thing that Bungie has come out with. So left side of the roadmap, we got the expansions, we got the seasonal updates, and we got the reward passes. So expansions, so we're going to have new stories, new locations, new missions, new weapons, and new gear, new raids and dungeons. So it's pretty much sounding a lot the same. Hopefully the content will be different though. So season updates. So we'll have new reprised activities, new gear and artifact mods, new modifiers and challenges, new sandbox meta, and new events. Reward pass. We're going to have exotic weapon and ornaments, legendary weapon and armor ornaments, gear upgrade resources, as well as cosmetics and more. The cosmetics, they're definitely not going away. You can't lose that revenue. So taking a quick look, so summer of 2025, we've got the launch of Codename Apollo. Whether that actually launches in the summer of 2025 or it's pushed back, who knows? But like it said, everything that we're going to be seeing on here is subject to change. So the summer of 2025 major update, codename Arsenal, reward pass, and then next we've got the fall of 2025 next major update, which is codename Surge, also part of the reward pass. And then it leads into the winter of 2025. We get another big expansion. So basically, these two, the Apollo and the Behemoth, are DLCs. So they're going to be completely separate. Apollo is going to get 2 seasons, so it's going to be 3 months for this Arsenal, codename Arsenal. So when it does come out, it'll be a completely different name, and codename Surge. So we got 3 months of Arsenal, 3 months of Surge. Then next, in the winter, we're going to have the next DLC, which is Behemoth. It is also has 2 seasons as well. Doesn't exactly say the code names for them, but I'm just going to say they're going to have 2 seasons. So moving on from that, taking a quick look at what else they have in here. I want to kind of keep this short and sweet. So this roadmap lays out our plan for year 11 and beyond with some exciting changes to our annual model. So 2 expansions per year, like I said, the Apollo and the Behemoth. 4 major updates of free content every year. Now, I am not exactly sure how they're structuring that. Like, you pay for the pass and you get the seasons included, or I'm not too sure how that's going to look. Over the next few months, we will be sharing more info with you on Codename Frontiers, which is how we are describing a major innovation coming to Destiny over the next few years, starting with our next expansion, codename Apollo. We have several dev insight deep dives going live today. I'm not going to get into the deep dives. I do have them in here, but it is more for another video. It is very in-depth, so I'm going to not drag it out in one video and make you guys suffer. And it's more content. Why not? So codename Apollo, we have several dev insight deep dives going live today. We will continue to add more to this list over the weeks and months to come. So hopefully Bungie will be a bit more hands-on with the community and have a bit more input as to where they will be going with everything. So today we also have Tyson Green, the game director for Destiny, and Allison Lures. I'm going to say Lures because that might be German and I'm probably not pronouncing it right. I'm very sorry. The Destiny 2 narrative director, diving through some of our future plans for Destiny 2. Our goal is to be more transparent in our communications with you. This means sharing our work more frequently, even if you see our mistakes and false starts along the way. We don't really care about that. You know, if something doesn't look, 100%, it's just a sketch. Going through even the motions of like how things are animated and put together, or how a planet is going to look, especially have a PTR. Please, don't just for an hour or two use a couple people to come in and test it out. Have a PTR, have a group of people. They would probably, give you some really good insight on things. Don't use the fucking community as test guinea pigs, please, because things don't end properly, and usually people end up angry. This means sharing our work more frequently, even if you see our mistakes and false starts going along. So please remember that our roadmap and plans, like I said, are subject to change as we get deeper into development. So basically, they're going to be adding things, changing things, could be taking things away, could be later dates than what is already mentioned. There's a lot of different things that it could be. So ultimately, This is your game too. We want you to see more of how it is made and why. 100%. Even having somebody with Bungie that I know they have a department that's dedicated to lore. Even work close with another content creator like Bife to come out with, hey, this is going to be some of the lore into the stories of what we have coming out in this 2-section 6-month saga that we got coming in here and how it's going to tie in. So that would actually be pretty cool as well. We're excited for Destiny to change and improve in ways that allows it to keep evolving in the future. So a dev insight deep dive. So below you will find a list of dev insight deep dives for various innovations coming with Codename Frontiers. We'll be building upon the sections over the next few months and breakdowns of features and changes coming to Destiny. Honestly, these things they really could have come a long time ago. What we're talking about here, and by the way, these are hot links or whatever you want to call them. So you can click on them and it will take you right to the deep dives. So we got core game activities, core game rewards, and the portal. More than likely, they are all in here. So our vision for the future of Destiny 2. So Tyson Green. My name is Tyson Green, and I'm the game director for Destiny 2. And I'm excited to speak today about our team's vision for Destiny. First and foremost, we still love Destiny. Of course, they still love Destiny. It's their moneymaker. If they pissed off the community too much, they ain't going to make any money. It is unique. It is a unique and challenging game for both for you and for us. I've personally been working on Destiny for 15 years, and it still excites me creatively. So that's absolutely awesome. Hearing that from one of the devs and game directors, that's absolutely awesome. That the content that they're creating excites them as well as us. I mean, the final shape, in my opinion, absolute banger. But yeah, the Witch Queen, absolute banger. Lightfall, yeah, I'm just going to say that. There are not many games I could say that about. But at the same time, we recognize that it becomes too rigid. Expansions have started to feel more formulaic and are over too quickly with little replay value. Yeah, it's kind of one of those one and done. I can go through it. Do I go through it many times? Yeah, hell yeah. Unfortunately, I've helped more than I ever wanted to beat Callus in the Lightfall expansion. Don't ever ask me to help you with Callus, please. So season and episodes keep getting bigger, but can still feel like you are just going through the motions. We believe it is time for Destiny to change and evolve, and that our community wants this game to grow and innovate too. So the innovations, they need to be applied into Destiny. Everything, it needs a facelift. It needs invigoration. And to do that, we need to start breaking some of the molds. 100%. It's been mentioned by some of the other content creators that it's the same old every single season. It's just boring. So changing it up in the different ways and adding some things also, like they've already been doing with the buffs and the debuffs on your screen. The buffs go up top, the debuffs are on the left side still. But I would like to have a bit more, be able to move them around myself, maybe put them at a different color, so like a debuff could be red, a buff could be yellow, stuff like that. So annual expansions, we are going to start annual expansions. We've loved creating annual expansions and are especially proud of the final shape. But the truth is that that they dominate almost all of our development effort. We need to free ourselves up to explore and innovate with how we deliver Destiny's 2 content, so that we can invest in areas of the game that will feel more impactful to players. I think it's just maybe a bit more better time management. Don't be wasting your time on, you know, mobile games and trying to invigorate old games. If this is your bread and butter right here, and you have games that are still in development, those games don't make you money until they're being sold and they're live. So I'd be focusing on them and not stuff that isn't making you money. Starting next year, instead of the big expansion, we are going to deliver two medium-sized expansions. So like I said, those are going to be the 6 months. 2 seasons and 2 seasons, so 4 seasons again is what it's looking like. Yeah, so not too much of a change in that aspect. Each of these will depart from one-shot campaign structure. We've been using essentially unchanged since Shadowkeep. Each will be an opportunity to explore exciting new formats instead. We are excited to try new things and challenge your idea of what Destiny's experience can be. We are actively phototyping non-linear campaigns, exploring experiences similar to the Dreaming City, and whatever the fuck that word is. Metroid. Anyways, and even more unusual formats like roguelike and survival shooters. Each expansion will present a new opportunity to try something different. So this is actually kind of interesting. Thinking about it, these roguelike and survival, having, some of these missions feel more like an actual mission, where you actually have to take your time and go through it. That would actually be a little bit more interesting. The one thing that I do hate is getting a lot of the quests and the campaigns, and it's go here, go back there, go here, go back to the helm, go here, go back to the helm. If I have to go back to the fucking helm and back to Nessus one more time, I'm going to lose my shit. Moving on. Departing from one-shot campaigns means we are turning away from great story. Doesn't mean that we are turning away from great storytelling. Of course not. The lore is absolutely amazing. If you stick with it, it tells a great story. Going forward, we want to return the mystery and the wonder that was woven into the fabric of early Destiny, when the story felt ripe with possibilities and the epic sense of exploration and discovery. Great stories are as important as ever in our creative vision, and Allison will touch more on that below. So, seasons. Like I said, they're basically going back to the same old model that they had. It'll just be kind of different, more of a smaller story in that time. Instead of like the whole DLC is, stretched out over the 4 seasons, you'll have basically the 2 seasons and it's a whole story, and another 2 seasons where it's a whole story. So it'll be a bit more, in my opinion, interactive. With the change to 2 expansions per year, our seasonal model will be changing as well. I don't see it. Instead of 3 episodes, we will be building 4 major updates per year, 1 every 3 months. Are you trying to impress new people that think that this stuff we have now is normal? Because you could have just said, we're going back to the old way because we liked it. Each expansion will launch alongside a major update at the start of the season, and the second major update will follow 3 months later to refresh the core game with the new and reprised content, including activities, strikes, exotic missions, or entirely new modes like Onslaught. Onslaught was an absolute banger. That Into the Light, can't beat that. Absolutely amazing. That within itself was fucking awesome. Rewards, so weapons, armor, artifact mods, exotics, and more. New weekly events, new features, combat meta and balance updates. So that's just going to be a constantly ongoing thing. The combat meta and balance updates, that's just ongoing. It's not going to change. You could add that into every single year that you're going to talk about the game. That is not going to change. The big season, the big season resets will still happen, but now twice a year alongside the expansions. So, like you said, every 6 months you get a new DLC. Every DLC has 6 months worth of content and 2 seasons. Each update will be a substantial refresh of the core game, bringing new activities and activities and reward content. We are also excited to announce that, like Destiny 2 Into the Light, these updates and their content will be free to play, which is absolutely awesome. There's a lot of solo players out there, or a lot of people that, can't drop the money for a lot of the expansions and want to be able to play with their friends. So it's really good that Destiny is noticing, or Bungie is noticing that and addressing it. So more people will be able to play the game. We want Destiny to be easier for anyone to play or recommend. And 100%, how many people on my stream have said to me, I don't have that expansion, or I don't have that dungeon key. Sorry, I can't do that one. And, it kind of sucks, because you want people to experience exactly what you're able to, or, be able to get the exotics or the weapons from those dungeons or those activities. We want to remove the major barrier to the experience, which means we need to talk about the core game itself, which leads us into core game title. The core game is Destiny's always available evergreen activity experience, and we need to fix two key things with it: approachability, as well as gear and challenge should matter. Now, before we get into this, gear and challenge should matter 100%. If you are doing end game content, you should not be getting gear that is dropping at 53. You shouldn't be getting gear that's dropping at 60. It should be high stat armor. You're busting your ass off learning the mechanics, and you're just getting, shite armor. It's kind of discouraging at some points. And then eventually, when you're playing it, you don't even have to look at it. You just hit dismantle, because you know it's going to be shite. My rant is over. Let's move on. The core game is Destiny's always available approachability. First, Destiny is too complex. 100%. There's so many things that you can do, so many things that lead into different things, and trying to explain it all, it's a grind. There has been a lot of people that said to me, I just can't afford the time to grind like that. So having things more readily available to people, with an easier grind, definitely. With literally hundreds of activities, you practically need a PhD to decide what to play and how to get rewards. I have a PhD in Destinyology. Thank you. Posting it on my wall. We're going to start the next fix. We're going to start to fix this by modernizing activity UI, the director, and make it easier for everyone to find and launch integrate activities. And we are reworking our reward model to make sure that all of those activities are offering meaningful rewards. Our deep dives on activities and other rewards, or end rewards, going into more detail on these challenges in particular. So I don't know. They're gonna go and change the UI again, and then us veteran people will be so screwed. Where's everything now? But in the other hand, it should be good. I thought there was a bit of a picture in here on it. Maybe it was over here. So I think this is kind of it. So you got this curator Yeah, so this would be what you're looking at, right? This is what they're talking about, the UI UX changes. So the curator, the quest, season map, destination store. This is literally, in my opinion, just easily slapped together. They went and put some circles and a diamond in here, put solo ops. Easy to find, easy wording. Moving on and back up to where I was at. As for rewards, these two changes will help the core game experience and easier to drop into and much deeper in terms of variety and pursuit of personal mastery. And they are starting and are a starting point for ongoing changes aimed to continuing to improve Destiny in these rewards. The next multiplayer saga starts with codename Apollo. So a lot of people have been talking about this picture, exactly what we got here. There's actually two pictures that kind of go with this because you're looking at these balloons. These balloons, in my opinion, are pods from the ship. You got a crashed ship here on a planet, and you have escape pods. So were we traveling and then we crashed and the escape pods? But on the other hand, where the hell did this boat come from? Because it looks pretty human-ish, except for the black wavy stuff, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, so that's what I think they are. I think they're escape pods. The next multi-year saga starts with codename Apollo. Allison Allures. Hello, I'm Allison. And in the D2 narrative, or I am the D2 narrative director. I'm a fresh face at Bungie. I started doing narrative direction for seasons in fall 2022. And my first D2 expansion was the Final Shape. So that's pretty cool. I did like the narration and their direction that it was going in the Final Shape. So good job, Allison. We're proud of the Final Shape and the ending we created for the Light and Darkness saga. Now, saying that, I would have loved Cade as my ghost. If Cade gave us the light and then you had like the ghost and Cade kind of, together. But hey, Nathan Fillion probably wasn't signing the contract for that. But it would have been awesome, just saying that. And we knew that episodes that follow would act as an epilogue, tying up the light and dark's hanging threads, but also setting up for the next. I don't know how it's setting up for the next, because it's kind of tying up the end. It has to be almost a blank slate of, Guardians done, wiping your hands clean. The Hive are always assholes, and we're going to move on. The episodes close doors and open new ones, purposeful ones, storylines that are set in place to prepare us for what is to come next. And what is next in our saga. You'll see teases of it later in episodes. So that's actually kind of cool that they have parts of it in our episodes. But like I said, I'm not going to go too much further because there really isn't too much more in here that is really beneficial. Apollo, it's saying Apollo is non-linear, so there isn't going to be like this is what you are and this is what your objective is. So it's basically going to be multiple different objectives and multiple different ways of doing it. It isn't going to be A to B. It isn't going to be C to D. It could be A to D. It could be C to D. It could be any sort of things. It isn't going to be really, really linear. And the biggest thing that I like about Destiny is the maps are never linear. You're able to go anywhere you see over there. Usually you can go over there. So previous in Stories of Final Shape, you experience, like I said, the A to B to C to D in a nice straight line. And codename Apollo, our story takes place over dozens of threads you'll explore and discover. So to me, it's basically leading you into experience different things which will give them feedback, which will also let them know which ways that they can take things in the future going forward. So when you land on our brand new locations, the story starts at A, and then you can choose if you want to go explore C first, or try and get to B, or maybe investigate D. So they're going to have multiple different locations, many different ways you can go. It's going to be yours to choose. And the option you didn't choose, don't worry. Those other options are still open for you to go back and play through. You'll need to. So you're still going to have to finish everything, but it doesn't matter in what order you finish everything. Because the more you play and discover, the more the story progresses. The experience, so experience a certain number of threads opens up the next part of the story. The order in which you explore will be something you choose, but you will have built the code name. But we have built codename Apollo in a way the story always makes sense and flows from beginning to middle to end. So that's good. It doesn't matter which way you're going to change, it's still all going to make sense in the end. There's no time gating, no waiting for the next drop. Codename Apollo story unfolds based on the player's progression. So the more you want to do, the more you do, the more you explore, is the more of the campaign or the story that you're going to be able to access. There won't be any, like I said, that time gating on stuff, so instead of waiting, we have next week is a little bit of more of a drop of content and so on. It'll just be all at once. And into the unknown. This all sounds like big change, and it is, because the rhythm of our story becomes predictable, or when characters in our world fail to change. That's how we create a situation, not a story. So exactly, the situation is people are upset. The story has become very skewed, and people aren't happy with it. The gameplay just does not match the story. That's why, technically right now, in my opinion, the Guardian should basically be a god. You kill the god, you should be a god. But yet you get two-shot by a Hive Knight. And Bungie's answer for that is, well, if you were as powerful as a god, everything would just be, you'd one-shoot everything. So you wouldn't have the game to play for it to be fun, right? So that means evolving the world, giving space for new characters, growing and evolving factions. And I want this back. Factions. Bring back factions. 100%. Something to strive forward. If it's, Future War Cult, if it's Dead Orbit, New Monarchy, those factions, that was absolutely amazing. I love those things, D1. Making sure the story we tell is in a world we have nurtured, and with characters who grow in turn. We believe in rewarding the player for paying attention without punishing someone for not knowing something. So it's just, people new that join just don't know where anything is at. Like they had said, it's so confusing with where to go, what I need to do for the rewards, what I need to do for the missions and quests. So having that all sorted out will definitely make it a whole lot easier. Even trying to explain everything within your community is, it can get a little overwhelming and daunting at times. So we believe in rewarding players' attention, not punishing them. That way, everyone gets to come along for the ride, no matter how deep in the lore they are. You'll see that approach starting with episodes and continuing into the new multiplayer story. So that's pretty cool. At least they're addressing a lot of the bigger issues. Everybody, if you could do me that great favor, hit the like button, hit the sub button. If there's any of the content that you guys are looking to do, or any other games that you want to join, hit us up. The Discord link is right there on my YouTube channel. Until next time, you guys be safe and take care.